Alright guys, welcome back. Third time's the charm, that's the saying I believe, and we are in the finals of the group. So, without further ado, spawning in the top left corner of the map, he leads 1-0. Give it up for Heart.
That would have rhymed a lot better with Gumiho. In the
But
bottom
he's
right.
not up 1-0 though.
Yeah. In the bottom right is a blue Terran, it is Gumiho.
I guess down 1-0, it's Gumiho. There you go, we could have done it that way. But okay, so silliness aside, guys, we will definitely try and coordinate future matches around not disconnecting at particular times, as that seems to be the case today. This really does suck because it just, for one day it'll happen and one day it doesn't, and there's no control over it whatsoever. But as far as this goes, as far as this final series goes, I mean, we said a little bit before the break, it sucks. Gumiho, he accomplished a lot to get here. No question about that. He took down Rain. He's done well in the group. He's a badass player, period. But Heart is just, I don't know, got his numbers so far.
Yeah. His TVT looks fantastic. I mean, that was... Maybe it was obvious to him because he saw, like, 1 tank and 2 Vikings. And that actually doesn't look that scary. But you gotta figure, like, the Hellions gotta be somewhere. And it's happening behind his own tank. So it was, like, a really, like, just, like, good, like... I can take that on, and it worked. When we've seen other pro players too, not just like, you know, casuals, just die to like decisions like that. Like, oh, I can break that bunker, and then they don't.
Yeah. They, by the way, big shout out to Derp Marine, just up to the channel. Welcome to the family, everybody. Much love, much love. And of course, if you guys do sub today, you can absolutely look forward to these replays that will be sent out after the tournament concludes, not before the finals. That being said, Heart's gonna get a nice little scout here in the main. Sadly, might not be able to stick around long enough to find out if it's a Reaper or not, but he sees one gas opening.
Yeah. And I can't say casual anymore without, like, automatically assuming it's a bad word. It's turned into, like, a curse word.
Where's that coming from?
I said cat, like, you know, just... I mentioned it, like, a minute ago. Casuals.
Okay, I just, like, the whole analysis of it, I meant, like, okay, sorry.
I actually meant, like, people that aren't pro players, right? That aren't, like, working 24/7 on esports.
Don't live in
and
a
it
team
sounded
house.
like a curse word.
But yeah, this is definitely two folks who have made Starcraft 2 the epitome of their career. You know, we don't see Heart playing Hearthstone all the time, and he doesn't stream ever, which kind of sucks.
Oh my god, he'd be the best though.
Hearthstone, I know. But no, it's like he doesn't stream a lot, so he hides a lot of his builds. He doesn't want to be cast a good chunk of the time because again, he hides a lot of his builds. Heart's a very serious player. Gumiho, on the other hand, he plays everywhere, anywhere. He's competitive, but not nearly as secretive, which I think is kind of interesting. But it's not like there's been a build order counter. It's not like when we saw Impact versus Rain Game 1 or anything like that. This has been a whole series of TVT, the first time and this time, where Heart's just making really tough calls, but they're working out really well for him. Really risky decisions.
That SCV did scout the command center, which was nice. He already chose his build, of course, to go for the starport. But, you know, maybe this attack with these Marines would not have happened if he had not scouted that. What is going to be 4 Marines and a Hellion. That's actually kind of scary. A Reaper is actually the only thing Gumiho has right now. 2 Hellions are about to pop out.
Well, small scuffle going down here at the ramp.
It's going to be hard to do anything against 2 Hellions. It's just too few units, even if they're spread really well. Won't deal that much damage fast enough. Yeah, and then you take care of it.
Yeah, that's the problem with Marines. You might have a lot of them, but they fry quite easily. They make good omelets.
No, I don't think they do.
Okay, they make good puddles of black blood because the Korean server and everything's censored. How about that?
Oh,
Gonna be a lot more literal, I guess. We'll get some good shots off with the high ground vision. So Gumiho's gonna back away for a second, but he's still got 3 Hellions presence on this side of the field. And for the sake of Heart, I mean, the Banshee is out. It should be able to deal with this. This is not gonna get out of hand.
Well, thank goodness, right? Like, otherwise, it's Heart that has nothing. But the Banshee now has to stay at home. Gumiho was already reacting to what he figured was going to be a Banshee build anyways. He got that early engineering bay, he was getting turrets, and now he just knows that, like, okay, I can commit more to the turrets, in fact. I can get 1 at each base and also 1 protecting my production line, and that'll probably be worth it.
A little bit scary as the Viking comes out. Cloak is not quite done. It's very close to finishing. There we go. He should be safe now.
the tank coming out as well as a Raven. But with so many Marines dying here, I don't know if he's really gonna do another push with those tanks.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of the fluff for what could have made it so powerful. The Raven even in a little bit of danger. Quite an expensive unit to lose, and he very well may just lose it. He's got to kite around the auto turret. The question is, what's got better damage, the Viking or the auto turret?
Viking.
Yeah.
We answered that question.
Barely. A chicken and the egg right there. Or omelet in the Marine? I don't know. Either way, Viking does kill the Raven and backs away. Hellions also get away, like, not in well health, but alive, so you can repair these up pretty quickly.
Yeah. You know, Hellion drivers like big smokers, so they're never in good health.
Wow, that's really judgmental of you.
Yes, it is. Judging.
We need to make like an anti-smoking PSA. Stay cool, stay in school, stuff like that.
Oh. They're probably like death trapped. Let's be honest. Like I don't think they passed any safety board inspections.
There are cars that carry flamethrowers on them that are about the equivalent of the size of the car. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these aren't the safest things ever constructed.
I don't know where
What if? No, you know what? We can't talk about this. You know what's going to happen. David Kim's going to be like, you know what? Legacy of the Void, friendly fire isn't enough. What we need is random combustion. Like, spontaneous self-combustion mechanics.
It's
for things
realistic,
like
let's be honest. Like, that's not really how it's going to explode.
You're just driving down the middle of the road like this, like, boom! One of the Hellions just explodes for no reason. RNG'd!
It does splash damage, too.
And you know what the reasoning will be? It helps Terran players not get supply blocked as constantly.
Good reasoning. Great reasoning, in fact.
Please, no, David Kim, don't listen to this cast. Get that out of your head.
Well, we finally have a situation where like these guys aren't dying within the first 10 minutes. It is past the 10-minute mark exactly.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for what could possibly be a macro game, but the problem for Gumiho is he's going bio. Like, and I don't say that as a problem, like a bad thing, but it is a situation where we see him play mech so frequently. I do wonder if this is out of his comfort zone. Not to say he'll be bad at playing it, but it is a scenario where if you play mech 100 games in a row, the one game you play bio, you're going to be a little bit off.
Check this, man. He got a really early third. Like, super early. Yeah. And Hart just went for 5 barracks. So I always like this kind of like, I mean, Hart's probably going to throw in his own third unless he notices this, which I think he scouted it.
Well,
he did
scout it here to cover, so I mean, this is gonna have a little bit of room. Wow, just barely. He's attacking his own refinery because
drop the rest of your stuff.
He wanted to help.
All right.
I guess the sooner it dies, the sooner the drop leaves, right? So there you go.
Let me help you. Yeah. But you know, if he sees that third, he could decide like to hold off on his own third for a while and just really amp up the pressure. Because now Gumiho has to protect so many different fronts when you consider medevacs as well.
I do like the Banshees hovering around this. Normally, like 8 Marines instead of medevac, that kills the Banshee, no problem. But it's the fact that they're going to be unloading one at a time, and the Banshee will be picking them up pretty quickly.
This is buying like
a lot of time. Behind this, we got some tanks starting to set up here for that really sick spot. Behind that mineral line, really good at denying the base. Because Hart doesn't have a third to retreat to, he has to deal with this. The Banshee certainly can, if there's no Marines to stop it. Now she finds a really nice position across this ravine, and yeah, tank can just get picked up at the end of the day.
Thank you for remembering that, Gumiho. But, you know, for someone who got the much faster third CC, Gumiho is above army supply and above SCVs. Like, this is looking for, like, a really good game for Gumiho.
Yeah, definitely. A bit of an odd place to siege up, but I guess he's going to wait for the fight to come to him. He's going to pick up a couple of Marines there for free. Both players, of course, have 1-1, but the big difference is Hart doesn't have combat shields yet. He actually cannot take a fight against other Marines, kind of period. As we see, not going well at all. Inside tank fire range as well. This is a really terrible engagement for Hart. He's going to call it out.
That was like... That was lame.
It kind of was. Like, with the series that we've had so far, in context, I would agree. But at the same time, we got to give it up to Gumiho. He finally takes the game off of Hart.
It's true. It was just a very slow death. I was kind of just like, well, you didn't get a third, and you didn't attack, so...
Yeah.
Okay, GG.
Yeah, that happened.